Hello and welcome back to Bookmark Chronicles, and welcome to a new series that is a spin-off of characters that I would square up with, where instead of characters, I want to fight the author. Now with the characters, when I say that I want to square up with them, I actually mean that. Like, y'all deserve a beatdown. With the authors, it's more so, you piss me off a little bit, but we still gonna be cool afterwards, you know what I mean? So it's not a long-term thing. I will still likely read from these authors, but something that they did just, it hurt my feelings, it didn't sit right with me, and we gotta address it. First author on this list is the reason that I even thought of this series, because I finished reading a book by her and I was just like, I want to fight, because why did you do that? And so I can't say much about what actually happened, but Saara el-Arifi, the author of the Ending Fire trilogy and the Battle Drum, she does something that not only was like wildly unexpected, that hurt multiple characters, but like we're getting to the point of it happening and you're like, she's not gonna, no, she wouldn't, she's not gonna do that, and then she does it. And that moment in and of itself was like painful to read, but then also other characters are heartbroken in the process because they have to bear witness, and I was just like, I cannot believe that she really did that. Why would you do that? If you read the Battle Drum, you know what I'm talking about, you know what character I'm talking about, and how it is likely going to have a large role in what happens in the ending of this trilogy, because this one character is probably just going to be fueled by rage. And while I think that vengeance is going to be a great plot line in this last book, this character has been through enough. I just want her to be happy. So let this be the last thing that you do to her, okay? After I read this book, I had posted on Instagram and I was like, I really want to fight Saara el-Arifi now, because how could you? And someone was like, I could totally see like you starting a fight with her, and then when it's over, you kind of hug it out. And that's exactly what I expect to happen, you know? Like, I still like you as an author. I still really enjoyed this series. However, you got to catch these hands. And then after that, we're okay again. This next author, and I have to be transparent, what they did made sense. It had to happen, but I still didn't like it. Because why would you put a third act breakup at 91%, Rilzy? Yes, Rilzy Adams. It made sense. I know it made sense. I know it needed to happen because other things needed to be a priority and they came back together in the end, but 91? Girl, you couldn't do that like, I don't know, 15% ago? 91%? I get it. I really do. I really do. But girl. And the funny thing is, this is like the only Rilzy Adams book that I have read and like truly loved. Like, it literally takes you through all the feelings, and I was just like, why did I know why, but still why? The next author I want to fight is Rosaria Munda. I thoroughly enjoyed the Aurelian Cycle trilogy. Is that what it's called? Fireborn, Flamefall, and Fury Song. Really enjoyed. If you like Fourth Wing, this is better, and it's YA. Crazy, I know. But I really enjoyed Fireborn. And then book 2 did have a little bit of middle book syndrome, but the conclusion was well worth it. However, she did something that I genuinely was not expecting, and I was just like, not you making me feel feelings. How could you? And so this series is about a dragon rider academy, sort of, and revolution and stuff like that, and it's very good. There are characters I didn't even realize that I enjoyed until something bad happened to them, and I was like, damn, I didn't realize that I cared about him. I can't believe you made me care about them. And then you did what you did, and but I can't say, because it happens in the final book of the trilogy, and it's like it's a really big thing, and one that I genuinely did not see coming, because, you know, it's war. Yeah, there's gonna be death, but I didn't expect it to happen like that. And I was like, you bitch. We still cool, but you bitch. So this next one I can give a little bit more details to. I read They Both Die at the End a few years ago, and then I read The First to Die at the End at the beginning of this year. I enjoyed them both. But what I didn't appreciate is that we get like a little glimpse of one of our future characters in the prequel, which is The First to Die at the End. And I didn't appreciate that, because like you see this little character as a child and you're like, oh hey, and then you're like, he's gonna die. And you already know that he's gonna die. And I just feel like we didn't really need that. That series, I would actually recommend that you read The First to Die at the End before you read They Both Die at the End, because knowing how things look in the future kind of takes away a lot of the mystery and learning in the first book. So I would actually recommend that you read the prequel first. But that little glimpse of our future characters, I was like, you didn't have to do that. Like, because now I'm sad all over again. I'm already sad. And you just decided to pile on more shit to make me more sad. You didn't have to fucking do it, Adam, but okay. And so this last one, this truly is, we gotta talk about this, we gotta address this, but we still cool afterwards, because it's Christina C. Jones. And I know, y'all know that I love her. Y'all know that I'm trying to make my way through her backlist. However, Miss Ma'am, you lied to me. You lied to me. You told me that the Serendipitous Love series was warm and fuzzy. Girl, we need to work on your definition of warm and fuzzy, because that's not it. That's not it. There are 6 books in that series and only 2 I would recommend as warm and fuzzy. The other 4, you can't do that to me, because I went in like, oh my God, this is gonna be so much fun. I'm gonna have such a good time. I even recommended it to Jess, and then I had to text Jess and be like, hey, I gotta warn you about what's gonna happen, because I was misled, and therefore I misled you, and I didn't mean to do that, but I was lied to, I was hoodwinked, bamboozled, and led astray, and I did not mean to do the same thing to you. I do have a series review of the Serendipitous Love series that went up earlier this week. I will have that linked in the cards and in the description for you. It is a good series, it's a great series. However, if you are sensitive to certain topics, I do not recommend it to you, because you also will not feel that it is warm and fuzzy. I think that we should go back into in development and update that to, you know, warm and fuzzy with a side of some serious shit, or warm and fuzzy but also might make you cry. I personally didn't cry, but if you are sensitive to the topics that are being talked about in that series, you might cry multiple times. So I don't want that to happen to you, and I think that Miss Jones and I should have a little conversation to discuss the definition of warm and fuzzy, and maybe set some more parameters in place, because that ain't it. But we still cool. I'm still gonna read the rest of her backlist. I have to. Never met a Christina C. Jones that I ain't like, except Call and Response. But otherwise, I love it all. So we cool. But you gotta fix that. You gotta label that as something else, because warm and fuzzy it is not. So that was what will likely end up being the first round of authors that I would like to square up with. This list takes me longer to create, because I don't typically want to fight authors. It's usually their characters that I come after, but occasionally, here and there, me and the author gotta have a little chat. But let me know how you feel about any of the authors that I mentioned. Are there any authors that you want to square up with? Let me know. Otherwise, that's all I have for you today, and I'll see you in the next video.